Now, before I begin my homily, I have to ask Daryl, my security guy, what's the count? 173 people. This is amazing. I'm sorry, wow. Oh, wow, very good. And also, before I want to say anything, because I know she's very shy and she doesn't want the attention, but she's going to get it. Julie Durrell, who works in our religious ed office, has become a Catholic today, so why don't you stand up so we'll give you a round of applause. Welcome to the Catholic Church. Very good. I think it was the summer of 1971 or 1972. I was, I think, about 14 years old. And my family took its yearly vacation up north. Like many people in Michigan, you go up north for the summer, at least for a little bit. And I remember we had rented cottages on Big Bear Lake near Lewiston. We rented cottages up in Oscoda a couple times. We rented a cottage up in Cedarville in the Lake Chenaux Islands once in the UP. This particular trip was on Caribou Lake. Caribou Lake is the easternmost inland lake on the UP. It's just outside of Detour. It's a nice lake, about 900 acres. Rather shallow, which means for a UP lake, it's not bad to go swimming in. And I remember going out with my sisters and my mom, my dad, and my dad's best friend, Leo Sarkany, and his wife, Lois, and their two children, who were the same age as me and my sister. And on this particular trip, our Mrs. Sarkany's brother, wife, and their two children, they had a little 1-year-old, and they had a little 8-year-old, and they had joined us on the trip. So there was 3 cabins. And we had a blast. I caught a lot of fish off that dock. We did a lot of swimming. We had a lot of fun. But there was one day, and it was like about midweek, and my dad and Mr. Sarkany took the boat out to try to catch a muskie, because this lake has some muskie, and they were trying. My sisters were swimming right off the beach, and me and Mrs. Sarkany's oldest son, Paul, we were at the edge of the dock fishing. And Mrs. Sarkany was in the cabin, and her brother and sister-in-law wanted to just get away for a little while. You know, sometimes I read in a book that you just got to get away from the kids once in a blue moon, you know, just once in a while. Kids can't believe that, but it's true. Anyway, so they were going to go into town to have lunch together to Detour. And my mother agreed to give Lois a break and said, I'll take care of the kids. I'll take them for a walk. They had a baby buggy for the little 1-year-old and the 8-year-old boy. And my mother, for reasons I never understood, decided to go off on a trail into the forest. Now, the forest around Caribou Lake is pretty thick, like it is across the entire UP. I don't know if this is the Lake Superior State Forest or if it's the Chippewa National Forest. Honestly, I can't tell you which one it is. All I know, it's a big, dark forest filled with pine trees and beech trees and maple trees, and so it's a very thick forest. It's a very dark forest with a very thick canopy. And the trails, I don't know if it was a map, but my mother decided how could she get lost? She'd just go one way and then turn around and come back. Well, she went out, and apparently these trails broke into other trails. And my mother was making some turns, and she got out there, and after about an hour, she realized that she didn't quite know how to get back. She had seen deer, and this is what she tells us after it's all over, and she saw a porcupine. But the most interesting part is that when she sat there, she said, I wonder how to get back. She truly was lost. And they came to another fork in the trail, and she decided to hang left, and the little 8-year-old boy tugged her and said, Mrs. Jimbala, that's what he called her, Jimbala. He says, I think we go that way. And my mother said, little boy, why? He says, because there's the tracks of the buggy. That's the way we came. Direction. It's all about direction. And of course, that saved the day. Of course, the conversation my dad had with Mom about going into the forest is another conversation for another homily. We'll save that for a homily about penance. Anyway. But anyway, so it's all about direction. Today's gospel reading is all about direction, pointing us in the right way to go. Moses and Elijah, who appear with Jesus, represent the entire Old Testament. The entire Old Testament points to the coming of the Messiah, points to the coming of the Lord. It directs us to look for the Messiah and to believe in the Messiah and await the Messiah and to listen to the Messiah. And then the voice of God the Father comes down out of a cloud. This is my beloved Son, listen to him. To remind the apostles and us that if we need direction in life, if we're not sure what to do, if we have a moral decision to make, an ethical decision to make, then by all means, take time out in prayer. Take time out and listen. Take all the time you need. God will help us to spiritually direct us into making the right decisions so that we, at the end of our life, can follow the true road to the heavenly kingdom.